What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am bringing you guys a tutorial and review on the Venus Lime Crime 2 palette. I know a lot of people wanted to see my opinions, wanted to see a tutorial on my complexion, so I'm actually going to be bringing you guys this tutorial. And yeah, let's just get into some swatches. Not a super long intro, I just cannot be bothered today. So we're gonna go row by row, starting with the top row. And let me scoot over so you guys can see. This shadow is in Bloom. It's like a pinky mauvey matte shade. Next we have Crown, and Crown is like a shimmer, kind of like an icy shimmer with, I would say, kind of a purple hue, if you will. Next we have the shade Sage, and it is the only green matte that is in this palette. So that is what it looks like. It's a very beautiful, very pigmented matte. Next we have Thorn, which is like another shimmer. It's like a brown with like a pinky purpley hue. These don't really pick up well on my fingers, but yeah. Next you have Ripe, and Ripe is like an interesting color. I was not expecting it. It has like a greeny type undertone to it. It's very interesting. It kind of reminds me of the brown that is in the Juvia's Place Tribe palette that a lot of people were like going in arms about. Next is Forbidden, and this is a beautiful, beautiful shimmery metallic-y gold brown. Next is Stella, and Stella is another pretty, I would say these two are more shimmer, and let's say those two are more, no, maybe they're satin. I don't know what these two are. I don't know. But anyways, this one is Stella, and Stella is like a white with like a pink hue. My arm is killing me, so we gonna take a break. Ooh, child. Okay, all right. I just got over the flu, so that's why your girl is going through something right now. Okay, next we have Myth. And Myth is an eyeshadow that I have on my eyes today. It's in my inner corners. It's a beautiful, beautiful shimmery green. Then we have Eve, which I would say is the only true kind of metallic duochrome situation. That is what I have on my lids today. I foiled it to give it a thicker consistency, if you will, and I really, really love that shade. Next we have Laurel, and that is another beautiful green shimmer. It's a lighter green, so on the screen it doesn't even look green, but it definitely is green. It's just super light. Next we have Radiant, which appears to be a white, but it's not. It's a white with like duochrome situation. I see green, but I think the main component to it is like purple, but there is definitely some green in there as well. And then last, in the second row, we have Ivy, and Ivy is another shimmer, if you will. And that's Ivy right there. Sorry, I thought I had it in screen. So those are the first two rows. We're just going to switch over to my other arm to show you the last row. First in that last row is West, and it's a pretty metallic-y bronze shadow. Then you have Obscure, and this was the shadow that I was honestly super hoping that it was going to be a matte, but it's not. It's like a satin, and this is why I can't figure out what these two are over here, because I wouldn't say those are the same formula as this Obscure. They look a lot more glittery, whereas the Obscure is a lot more pigmented, and you can see the Obscure also has some, it's like a fake shift, if you will. I'm pretty sure Obscure is a satin, and these two, I I don't know what those two are. We just gonna keep it pushing. Next we have Mystic, and Mystic is like another satin. Like I said, it's a satin. Then we have Phoenix, which I would have hoped that this was like more of a metallic, because that's a really pretty color, very unique, I would say. It's like a burnt orange, but this is like another like satin type situation going on. I just made it bigger. Hopefully you guys can see it. And then we have Locust. And Locust is a duochrome. It's like a green to purple duochrome. And then last we have the last matte, which is Classic. So there you go. Those are the shadows on my arms. I'll kind of go into the color selection and the different types of formulas. Like I said, you can definitely see that there are some mattes. You have this weird funky formula that I honestly don't know what it is. You also have a couple of metallics, a couple of glitters. You have some duochromies situations. So yeah, this palette definitely gives you a variety of formulas. And yeah, if you're interested. Ooh, your girl is rusty and I am already tired. Oh my gosh. But anyways, if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this eye look, and you want to know a little bit more about what is on my face and stuff, I'll be telling you guys what's on my face, but it'll be a tutorial for my eyes. But anyways, let's just get into it. Alrighty, y'all. So it is time to do my tutorial for the Lime Crime Venxus 2 palette. And what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go into Ripe, which is this brown right here. It's the lightest brown matte that they have in this palette, and I'm just gonna put that in my transition pretty high up. I'm not gonna really blend it too far on my base, which is my NYX pencil in Milk. I just want it to be a very slight transition. Okay, and this is a Hakuhodo. There's no name on it. It's a Hakuhodo brush. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm going to keep this same brush, and then I'm going to go into In Bloom, which is this pink mauve color right there. And I'm just going to put that slightly under and make this more of the real transition color. And hopefully you guys can see that this color is blend. I don't think you guys can see. I was using natural lighting, but I think I'm gonna add my ring light. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I just put my ring light on in addition to the natural light that I have coming into my room. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Unfortunately, I never really can tell until I'm editing. But anyways, I'm just gonna put that In Bloom shade on my other eye as well. Okay, I'm really enjoying this base thus far, and that brush is immaculately soft. Next, I'm gonna go into Sage, which is the only green matte in this palette. It's right there, and I am gonna put that on my outer V and slightly into my crease. And this is a Hakuhodo J5523. This is really good because it has like a flat edge, So it's good at packing on that corner, but I suspect it will also be good to bring this color into the crease. Yeah, I think you guys can definitely see it a little bit better now that I have that green down. And what I'm gonna do is go into that original Hakuhodo brush I was going into, dab a little bit of the pink and the green on the brush, just so I can get these two to blend a little bit better. So I'm going on with my foundation. I'll deal with that later. Okay, now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and dab in between both colors again, just to get this stuff to blend. And I'm thinking that looks really, really good. I'm actually really happy with that product so far. I'm gonna go into yet another Hakuhodo blending brush. I think I'm gonna use this one. It might be a little too big, but we'll try it. I'm gonna use this one, and then I'm gonna go into the darkest shade in the palette, which is Classical. It's a really deep brown, and I'm just gonna use that to deepen out my outer V and just kind of stamp it on there. Holy butterballs. Okay, we're just gonna, I don't know why I went back into the palette like I needed more product. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of try and diffuse that in. And then sometimes I like to just go over the deepener shade with this brush just so I can kind of blend it in a little bit more. Just one of those things I like to do sometimes. And then for my lid color, I think I'm gonna go into my favorite two shimmers in this palette. How do I want to do it? I'm gonna put Eve on my lid, and Eve is this beautiful kind of foiled purple. So I'm gonna take yet another new brush. This is a Hakuhodo really small brush, and I'm gonna pack some of that shadow on. I do find that I have to spray these shadows. To keep them on my brush. So I just spray them once. Spraying too many times does not help. And then I just kind of pack it on. And I am getting fallout because every time I go back in, I'm not really spraying my brush again, but that's like something I'm doing, you know. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye. And yeah, you guys can hopefully you guys can see the difference between the two lids. I sprayed a lot more precisely on my brush on this eye than I did on this eye. So I'm just gonna go back and redo my right eye. Come on. Okay. Just so that they can both be on the same level metallic wise. There you go. That looks so much better. So much better. And then what I'm gonna do is just kind of blend these shadows together a little bit more. Okay, let me find my brush that I used for my powder, and we're just gonna try and get rid of some of this fallout, which I did terribly. Good things, good things. Okay, now I need a pencil brush. All the brushes in this little thing, and I can't find a pencil brush. Ludicrous. That's not a pencil brush, that's a wine glass brush. I think I might have taken all my pencil brushes out. That's annoying. Anyways, we're just gonna use this ColourPop. I think this is the E9. Yeah, it is. And then I want to go into Myth, which is right there, and I'm actually gonna put that in my inner corner. Nice and bright. And then I'm gonna do a pretty basic lower lash line. I'm just gonna take whatever product is left on this Hakuhodo brush that I had that brown on and just sweep it under both eyes. I don't want too much. Looks like I didn't have that much. I don't want too much of that brown. I mainly want the green under my eyes, so I'm going to take that same Hakuhodo brush I had the green on and pile that on under my eyes. Okay, so I am going to be putting on a liquid liner and mascara, and then I will zoom out and finish up the rest of my face and tell you guys how I feel about this product right here. So give me 1 second. Alrighty guys, so it is the end of this makeup look. Let me tell you guys what I have on my face, because God knows when I'm gonna put this up and I will probably forget by the time I get there. So on my lips is a Project Pan item. It's the Bite lipstick in rhubarb. So that's what's on my lips. On my cheeks is my everyday combination. I have the e.l.f. blush in Always Spicy as my bronzer. I have the ColourPop Tulip to Quit as my blush. And then I combined my two project pan highlighters, as I do almost every day. So this one is in Pink Glow, and then this one's in Bronze. So I literally just combine them almost every day for my actual highlighter. My brows is my Chrisana and Cosmetics Dip Brow Pomade. Normal eyeliner, Physicians Formula. My mascara is my Essence Lash Princess, and right now I'm using the Covergirl priming mascara to prime my lids. My foundation, in case you're wondering, is my Project Pan Lancome Tinty Dull Ultra Wear foundation. This one is in 500. I don't like this shade anymore for me. I thought this was a perfect shade. I am not liking this shade right now, but I'm getting through it. I'm almost done, and I think that's it for like the major products. I also did use my other Project Pan item, my Kat Von D face palette. This I shouldn't have shown you that. Well, anyways, I will be doing a recap on this. Hopefully that's already up. If it is, I will be giving a link in the cards for both of my project pans because I've used a good amount of the items today. But yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. Now let's get into this palette. So I know a lot of people were like not feeling this palette. I think they thought it was too muted, too like kind of dulled down, and that's what I liked about this palette. It was a color scheme that I don't necessarily have in my collection. I've really been gearing towards like more romantic-y colors lately because those are things I just don't have in my collection. I'm not that type of person that typically wears that type of stuff, but I've been into it. So I've been purchasing I've been purchasing pinks. I've been going on the hunt for pinks that I like, that are gonna add something to my collection. So you guys will be seeing a bunch of pinks in my February haul. But anyways, this palette has mattes, neutrals, mattes, metallics, more glittery topper shades. It does have one or two duochromes, and I would say maybe a satin or two as well. I have used all of the formulas, not necessarily all of the shades. If you didn't know, this is like the first video that I've recorded since being back from my kind of 2-week hiatus on here. So yeah, but I know how I feel about this palette. I like this palette. I like it for what it is. I like it for why I brought it into my collection, which is the fact that these are not tones in these colors that I have, not in a full palette. And it just speaks to me. It really does. I really do like this obscure color right here. It's like I would say it's more of a satin because it's not like a heavy duty shine, but it also is not a full matte. So I would say that's more of a satin. And you guys will have seen the swatches before we got to the tutorial, but overall I really do enjoy this palette. The one thing that I would have preferred if there was more mattes. There aren't very many mattes. There's only 4 mattes in this palette, and this is what, an 18 pan palette. So I would have preferred to have a couple of my mattes, specifically because they have a lot of satin shades. So I would have preferred a few more mattes to balance out with the satins. The metallic shade, there's only really one metallic shade. Then Myth is like a glittery shade as well. Eve, in my opinion, is like a chunky glitter metallic situation, depending on if you foil it or not. Radiant looks like a white, but it definitely is a duochrome. And yeah, I think the depth in the mattes is good, but just not enough mattes. It would have been nice to have an actual true purple matte in here, and then maybe one more deeper or lighter green. I think that would have made this palette even better for me personally. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying that there are a couple things that it could have tweaked to be even better. I am completely happy that I purchased this palette, and for me, if you're my complexion or deeper and you're trying to figure out how to get this to work on your skin tone and you actually enjoy the color scheme, I would say don't set your base. It does show up when you don't set your base, but the colors, aren't as true to color, and they can like kind of muddy up, if you will. So I would say definitely do not set your base. That way it can just stick onto your lid and just really do well together. I am almost done with this milk pencil, and then I will be getting a new white base. I cannot wait because I hear really good things about the new Makeup Revolution eyeshadow primer. But that was a tangent for no reason. I just wanted to say that I really do enjoy this palette. I'm happy I got it. In case you wanted to know, it has a 12-month shelf life. It is cruelty free and vegan. There are a lot of ingredients. Oh, they do their ingredients by shade. That is interesting. Overall, there is 26.28 grams of product in this palette. There is mica, there is talc, and there is silica. There's also zinc. So if those are some ingredients that agitate your eyes, I would say probably don't reach for this palette because it does have that type of stuff. My eyes are pretty good when it comes to things like that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and review this palette for you. I really did want this palette, and I haven't seen a lot of people my color, my complexion, reviewing this palette, so I did want to bring it out there for people of color, darker people of color who wanted this palette and didn't have somebody to tell them whether it's good or not. I think it's good. I really do enjoy it. And I mean, specifically those two metallic shades that I used today, I love these two, and this is a really nice duochrome white. But yeah, you guys would have already seen the swatches. Oh, another thing that I did want to point out, a lot of people were agitated because the Venus XL1 was a bigger version of the Venus 1 palette. And a lot of people thought that this would be a bigger version of the Venus XL, no, the Venus 2 palette, which is a lot more grungier, darker tones. I think that they did it so that you can use them together. A lot of people were like, so the same people who, no, the people who weren't mad that the Venus XL was a bigger version of the Venus palette were saying, these are the same colors, you guys already have this palette, why are you releasing it? And in my eyes, they released this one to be a complementary palette to their Venus 2 palette. So that's kind of what I see. I think that these colors will definitely work with that palette. I don't have that palette. I might actually go ahead and purchase it because I do enjoy this formula. It is pigmented, it is blendable, it's nice. So I might actually pick that up in a later month. I'm not in a rush to pick that up by any means. But yeah, I did want to just point that out because I remembered a lot of people up in arms about it. This palette was, let me see how much this is. So this palette was $58, and for me it was worth the investment. But that's something that you're gonna have to decide whether it was worth it for you. If not, and you don't want to pay the $58, Lime Crime does do a decent amount of sales, so I would say go ahead and check out their sales when they do it. But other than that, yeah, I'm happy about this palette. I would recommend it if you're interested and you want to try it out. And as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.